We have discussed in last class that polar, non-polar, both the dielectrics, if we place in some external electric fields, then after modifications, you can find that the molecular dipoles will actually arrange in a particular direction, giving rise to per unit volume a net dipole moment inside the dielectric, and that per unit moment, per unit volume, the net dipole moment is given as the polarization vector, right? So inside the volume you can see now three types of electric fields are there. One is external electric field, one is the electric field due to the induced charges, and the resultant is the net electric field. If we increase the external electric field, induced charges will also increase, but in that case net electric field will also increase, because the net electric field is given by this equation. Net electric field is external electric field divided by K, where K is a dielectric constant of the medium. It depends on the property of the medium. And also you can see that induced electric field directly proportional to the net electric field, where this proportional constant is known as the susceptibility of the material. And in this way we can also define the polarization vector, which is nothing but, in this case, you can see that sigma, and sigma is nothing but epsilon naught E induced, and that can be also written as epsilon naught into K minus 1 into E net, right? So that is the polarization vector. All right, so now we can solve few questions on dielectric. Before that, we have to understand one more important thing, that is the modified Gauss law, right? What is modified Gauss law? In modified Gauss law, for example, what is Gauss law? We all know that what is Gauss law. Gauss law actually talks about the total charge, right? We know that in Gauss law, if you try to write down the actual expression for Gauss law, then there are actually three terms that you need to calculate in Gauss law, right? One is E electric field, that is outgoing electric field and its flux, right? And one is minus incoming electric field into delta S, if I assume the electric fields to be constant, otherwise I will simply integrate that one, and that is equal to Q inside by epsilon naught, right? I can write down this equation. Now we have already explained this in several times, that this equation will only be useful when out of these three quantities, E outside, E inside, E external, and E incoming, and Q in, out of these three quantities, if you know two quantity, then this equation will be helpful to find out the third quantity. But if you do not know two quantities out of these three, then with one equation you cannot be you will not be able to solve the third one. For that you can only use the superposition principle, because that will be more helpful than this Gauss law. Like in this case, it is very easy, that suppose if we have to find out the charge density on this surface of the volume, right? On the extreme surface of the volume, I have to find the charge density. So what I can do, I can use the Gauss law. Why? Because I know what is the electric field outgoing from that surface, what is the electric field incoming to that surface, then I can find what is the sigma or the charge density trapped on that extreme face of that surface, right? So you can use that Gaussian surface I have used here, you can see in my diagram, and in that Gaussian surface you can directly write down that here we can use that integral of E dot ds equal to Q inside by epsilon naught, right? Okay, let me calculate this one. If I try to find what is the sigma here, right, what is the charge density here, so what I can write, you also try to write down it in your copy, that I can say E net into delta S minus E external into delta S, that is equal to Q inside, which is sigma into delta S divided by epsilon naught. We can write this one. Yes, definitely we can write this expression, and you can see that in this expression E external is known. E net can also be found in terms of E external. Then we can find what is sigma, right? Delta S gets cancelled out. So sigma is nothing but epsilon naught into E net minus E external. Now what is E net? E net is E external into 1 by k. So 1 by k minus 1. That should be the sigma or the charge density that is placed on this extreme face. Similarly, if you try to find out the charge density here, you will find it will be plus sigma. It is negative definitely because k is less than 1. So 1 by k, k is greater than 1, sorry, 1 by k minus 1, that is a negative. That is why this charge density is a negative one.
ভিতরের ইনডিউস চার্জের জন্য বাইরে কোনো ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড থাকবে না?
ভেতরের
ইনডিউস চার্জেসদের জন্য
না, বাইরে নেট ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড ইজ ই এক্সটার্নাল। বাইরে বাইরে নেট ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড ইজ ই এক্সটার্নাল। এই ইনডিউসড ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ডের জন্য এই বাইরে তুমি যদি চার্জ ধরো তাহলে এই পজিটিভ চার্জের জন্য ধরো, দুটো মিলিয়ে তো ক্যান্সেল হয়ে যাবে।
স্যার কিন্তু ডিসটেন্স গুলো তো আলাদা আলাদা।
But this can be treated to be parallel plates, right? We can assume this to be parallel plates. Then only the electric field will be uniform inside.
Oh,
right? So their effects will be negligible. Here you can say positive charge will create a electric field, negative charge will also create a negative field, that will cancel each other. All right. So from this expression you can see that from using Gauss law we can use that sigma here easily. But the actual problem comes in some questions where you actually do not know what is sigma and you have to find what is E net. Right? Suppose I do not know what is E external, I do not know what is E net. Because if I do not know what is E external, I cannot find what is E net, definitely. And also this is very difficult to find actually, that what is the induced charges, right? The most difficult thing is to find the induced charges, because that information will not be given in your question, that how induced charges are there, what is the density of induced charges. So now in this expression, if you do not know what is E external, you cannot find what is E net, and you cannot find what is sigma. So the entire equation will be useless for you, right? You cannot find anything. So that is why there is a modified Gauss law which allows us that somehow if I can neglect the induced charges in the Gauss law, then we can find the expression. Suppose in this expression, if
Sir,
I
can you please repeat? I had got disconnected.
Where have you understood this sigma part?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So after that I am trying to say that suppose in this Gaussian Gauss law, if out of these three equation E external is not known to us, here is E outside is nothing but E net, E inside is nothing but E external, right? Here you can see. So if E external is not known to us, E net will also not known to us, because E external and E net are connected. Then how can I find the Q inside? And sometimes Q inside will also be unknown to us, because Q inside is very difficult to find. You can see that inside charge also includes the induced charges, right? And it is very difficult to find what are the induced charges, right? So there will be different cases, we will talk about that. For example, suppose there is a sphere, right? Now inside that sphere you have placed some dielectrics, right? You have placed some dielectrics inside that sphere. There is no external electric field, you can say.
স্যার মাইক্রোফোনটাকে একটু মুখের কাছে নিয়ে বলুন।
হ্যাঁ, শুনতে পাচ্ছ? মুখের কাছে নিয়ে বলছি। What example I am giving you, that there is a sphere and the sphere is completely filled with a dielectric. Now if you take a Gaussian surface, look what difference I am trying to tell you. If you take a Gaussian surface like this, earlier we have found the electric field at this point by using Gauss law. Yes, what equation we have written earlier? Earlier we have written that E into 4 pi x square, if this is x, E into 4 pi x square is equal to Q inside by epsilon naught, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. But now the problem is, suppose there is uniform charge density, say, rho is given. Now as this is a dielectric, can you confirm that inside this Gaussian surface that I have taken as sphere, inside that small sphere, the charge is only 4/3 pi x cube into rho? Can you confirm that?
Yes.
No. Why not?
No, sir. Dielectric.
Yes, because there will be some induced charges inside the dielectric. Right. Now the problem is, now how can I find electric field at this point if I want?
বুঝলাম না।
Look, my problem is that I have a sphere, solid sphere. But think about the last case, we have studied a solid sphere and we have found the electric field inside point on a solid sphere. What we have done, we have taken a Gaussian surface, a concentric spherical shell, a Gaussian surface inside that sphere of a radius x. And we have used the Gauss law. We have said that this Gauss law should be that E into 4 pi x square, that is equal to Q inside by epsilon naught. Yes or no? We have used this equation there.
Yes, sir.
So what we have used as Q inside, can you tell me what we have written Q inside there? 4/3 pi x cube into rho. But the problem here is that here you have placed a dielectric, so there will be some induced charges inside that sphere also, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And we have to take into account that induced charges also while writing that Q inside. ছোট স্ফিয়ারটার ভেতরে তো অলরেডি কিছু চার্জ আছে, কিছু একটা পজিটিভ চার্জ আছে, তো এইটা তো একটা ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড তৈরি করছেই। এই ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ডের জন্য যখন তুমি আরেকটা শেলের কথা ভাবছো, এর পরের শেল, if you just think about another shell just after that shell, then this electric field will act as an external electric field for that shell.
Yes, sir.
Right? And for that there will be some charge induced in that. Suppose there will be some negative charge induced, there will be some positive charge induced here. Right? And if you take now a intermediate shell in between them,
কিন্তু স্যার তাহলে ইন্ডাকশন ইফেক্টটা ক্যান্সেল হয়ে যাবে না, বা পজিটিভ আর নেগেটিভের জন্য?
no, I am not taking the Gauss law here. Suppose this is a negative charge, this is positive charge, right? If you take a Gaussian surface like this, what will be the total charge?
ওকে স্যার।
I have, yes, definitely. In Gauss law, always I have to take the Q induced. Yes, but if you say that I am taking this one, right, then you can say that the total charge can be cancelled out, right?
ডাইইলেকট্রিক তো নন কন্ডাক্টর, তো যখন আমরা নন কন্ডাক্টিং সলিড স্পেয়ারের জন্য বার করেছিলাম ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড, সেখানে তো আমরা ইনডিউসড চার্জ কিছু কনসিডার
ধরে নি, কারণ ওখানে আমরা k equal to 1 ধরেছিলাম। Yes, that is a good question. Earlier when we have calculated the electric field for a non-conducting solid sphere, we have assumed the dielectric constant to be 1 there, right? But it can be that in your question given that there is a dielectric sphere whose suppose dielectric constant is k. So now I think that you have understood what is the problem while application of Gauss law here in this case. Have you got this case? That now it is difficult to find the Q inside because induced charges are also there. I do not know whether it can be 0, whether it can be plus, minus, I do not know that. But there may be some induced charges and I cannot ignore that while writing this Gauss law. Right? So that is why we use modified Gauss law. A way out is there for that. What is that way out? Just take this, just look at this again, the same diagram that I have drawn here. Here we have used that E external, sorry, E, first I will write positive. So it is E net into delta S minus E external into delta S is equal to Q inside by epsilon naught, right? What is that Q inside here? Q inside is only the induced charge here. Can you see here that I have not placed any other charge here? Inside that volume there is no other external charge, only induced charge is there. So that is only induced charge. Here Q inside is only induced, right? Now if I multiply these electric fields with their corresponding dielectric constants, then what I will get? Suppose E net is lying inside this volume, and what is the dielectric constant here? K. And E external is lying outside, so what is the dielectric constant here? 1. 1. So if I just try to do that, what you will find that K into E net minus 1 into E external into delta S. If you modify this, what is K into E net?
E external.
Is that E external? So they will cancel each other, yes or no? It will become 0. Why it is becoming 0? The reason is that I have not put any external charge here in this surface, right? So I can modify this Gauss law like this. I have taken a particular example and then I have found this Gauss law. However, there is a bigger proof of this law. I am not going into that proof because that what is important to apply this Gauss law. So what we can write that instead of integral of E dot ds, integral of E dot ds equal to Q inside by epsilon naught, can I write that integral of K into E dot ds is only what will I write instead of Q internal? Now is that Q internal includes the induced charges, yes or no? No. So what charges I will only consider? Only the charge that I have supplied from external, that are known as extraneous charges. That are known as extraneous charges.
এই জায়গাটা একবার রিপিট করবেন?
Yes.
স্যার কোন জায়গাটা এই ইনেট মাইনাস ই এক্সটার্নাল 0 কি হলো?
What is E net? Is it E external by K?
Yes sir.
So what is K into E net equal to E external? So E external minus E external will be 0. Why I have got 0 here? Look from this equation now. What is E extraneous on that surface? Inside that Gaussian surface that I have taken, can you find any extraneous charges that I have put from outside?
No sir.
No. That is why I have put here 0 in this equation, and I can find that this left side is also 0. So now coming back to this example, now if I have to write down the Gauss law for this example, then instead of E into 4 pi x square, I will use K into E into 4 pi s square, and then inside that Q inside in this expression Q inside, which charge I will only write? 4/3 pi x cube rho, because that is the extraneous charge. I will now ignore that induced charge, because that expression actually you can get rid out of the induced charges from this expression, right? This expression does not use the induced charges.
এক্সট্রানিয়াস বলতে ওই গসিয়ান সারফেসটার বাইরে যে চার্জটা আছে?
Nah, it's not external charge. Extraneous means externally applied charge, externally kept charge. Means inside this volume, if I have placed some rho density charges, suppose inside this I have kept constant density charges of density rho, right? Can you now find what is the electric field there by using Gauss law?
Yes, sir.
Just try to calculate.
স্যার রো চার্জ প্লেস করেছেন?
Yes, rho density charge আমি এখানে পুরোটা ভরে দিয়েছি। So at a distance x, what will be the electric field? From this end, at a distance x, what will be the electric field?
ই বলতে এখানে ইনেট।
E-net, yes, I am talking about E-net.
স্যার রো এক্স বাই 2 কে
সাইলেন্ট নট প্লাস
রো এক্স না রো হ্যাঁ রো এক্স বাই 4 কে এপসাইলন নট।
Ex will be there definitely. Yes or no? Look, if
Yes.
I use this expression, then what is
রো বাই এপসাইলন নট প্লাস ইএক্স।
হ্যাঁ
yes, yes. So let us first calculate this k into e. So what I will write as first term here, k integral of k e dot ds. Here, what is k here? K into E net into delta s. Can I write this one? As this flux is going out, I have taken positive. What I will write as this flux?
EX into del S.
Minus Ex into delta s. Because here the dielectric constant is 1, so I multiplied Ex with 1. And now I do not have to bother about this induced charges, whatever it may be, but I have to definitely bother about the extraneous charge. Extraneous means it's not that charge that outside of that surface, charge that inside that surface, but I have kept the charge from external source. So from external source, what is the charge that I have kept? It is rho x delta s. Now you can find that what is
সিগমা হবে না, আমরা সিগমা পুট করেছিলাম।
sigma. না,
সিগমা
ভলিউম চার্জ ডেন্সিটি তো এটা, আমি তো বাইরে থেকে ভলিউম চার্জ দিয়েছি। So now you can find what is E net. E net is equal to E external plus rho x by epsilon naught whole divided by k. Right? So that should be the answer of this question. If you put rho to be 0, you will find that this is already we have got that E external by k is equal to E net.
স্যার মানে কিউ এক্সট্রানিয়াসটাকে লেখা যেতে পারে কিউ টোটাল মাইনাস কিউ ইনডিউসড।
বলতে পারো q inside minus q induced. We can also say that.
এই যে মডিফাইড গস লটা আছে এর
হুম।
প্রুফে কি এমন কিছু আছে যেটা আমরা শিখিনি?
না না না, করতে পারো, প্রুফ করতে পারো, কিন্তু এটা লেন্দি প্রুফ, অনেক ঘুরিয়ে ঘুরিয়ে প্রুফটা করতাম। ইয়েতে রয়েছে হয়তো যে কোনো বুকসে, নর্মাল বুকসে পেয়েও যাবে, রাইট? ইউ ক্যান ট্রাই টু আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড, আই থিঙ্ক দ্যাট ইউ উইল বি এবল টু আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড, নো প্রবলেম। So E extraneous, you can say it is E Q inside minus Q induced. You can say that, right? By using this susceptibility, this entire concept, you can prove this, right? But I'm not going to prove that.
মডিফিকেশনটাতে এমটা কি ছিল? কিউ ইনডিউসডটাকে হটানো।
Yes, because Q induced is not known here.
ঠিক আছে।
Is that clear to everyone, the modified Gauss law? Okay. Here everything is written extraneous by epsilon naught that we have just studied. Take it for reference. All right, these are few simple questions. We can solve them easily. In the diagram shown, find the value of E1, E2, E3, E4. Also find the energy stored inside the dielectric slabs if the surface area perpendicular to the electric field is A for all of them. Okay, here you can see one more thing that you try to prove.
কনস্ট্যান্ট গুলো তো দেওয়া নেই।
Dielectric constants, yes. Like, let us assume that K1, K2, K3 only.
মানে এগুলো দরকার নাই।
No, they are needed. K1, K2, K3. Yes, dielectric constants are K1, K2, K3. So what is the electric field E1? Can you tell me?
স্যার E by K1
E by K1.
E1 is E by K1. What is E2?
E by K1.
Yes.
E by K1.
E by K1, K2.
E1 by K2
E by K2
E1 by K2
মানে
E by K2 only by K2.
It is E by K2. It's not E1 by K2. Look, what is the electric field? E net is equal to E external by K. Right? Here the external electric field is E only for all the slabs.
স্ল্যাব গুলোকে ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল কনসিডার করে দেয় মানে আলাদা।
Yes, if
স্যার
you
কেন
take,
ক্লাসিক স্ল্যাবের জন্য তো ইফেক্ট গুলো তো ক্যান্সেল আউট হয়ে যাবে। আপনি তো বললেন প্যারালাল প্লেট ধরতে পারি।
হ্যাঁ তো ক্যান্সেল হয়ে যাবে তো, হ্যাঁ ঠিকই, এইটার জন্য ক্যান্সেল আউট হয়ে যাবে। যদি তুমি যে কোনো একটা স্ল্যাব ধরো, সাপোজ আই হ্যাভ টেকেন দিস স্ল্যাব, this is E, this is E by K, this is E, this is E by K. So before entering the second slab, what will be the electric field that will come out from that slab?
E.
It will be E only. E by K electric field will not come out, because if you again take Gaussian surface, the net charge of this surface will be 0, whether it is induced or whatever the charges you can take, the total charge will be 0 here. Yes or no? So again you will find E here before entering the second slab. So what will be the electric field in the second slab? It will be again E by K2, right?
স্যার একটু মিউট করতে বলবেন।
One second. Okay. So all these electric fields will be E by K1, K2, K3 only, right? E3 is equal to E by K3, and what will be E4? E4 will be E only. Yes, right? Now look, what is the energy density? To find out the energy, you need to find out the energy density, right? If the slab's area is given A, right, then I can find out the energy easily, right? So energy for the dielectric, inside the dielectric, the energy density will follow this equation: half epsilon E net square, right? But here for with K you have to multiply, right? It will not be half epsilon E square, it will be half K into epsilon E net square, right? You can try to prove it by yourself, right? I'm not going to prove that, but again it's very simple. It is half K into epsilon into E net square. So inside the dielectric, if I know that electric field E1 is E by K1, and I can find what is K here, so the electric energy density will be half K1 epsilon into E square by K1 square into A into D1, right? That is the energy stored in the first slab dielectric. K1
Sir.
K1 will get cancelled out. Yes.
স্যার এনার্জিটা ভেতরে ওরকম কেন, মানে এনার্জি তো খালি ইনেট, তো নেট ইলেকট্রিক, তাহলে তো ওখানে তো এনার্জি ডেনসিটি ইনটু মানে এনার্জি ডেনসিটিটা ই নেট ইনটু হাফ এপসিলন ইনটু ই নেট স্কয়ার হবে, এটা কেন হবে? স্যার কিন্তু ওই যে ডাইইলেকট্রিক যে পারমিয়েবিলিটিটা আছে ওটা তো কে ইনটু এপসিলন নট হবে, টা
কোনটা?
মানে আপনি কে ইনটু এপসিলন নট তো এই জন্যই করছেন না।
হ্যাঁ, কারণ এখানে আমি আগে যেটা এপসাইলন নট লিখেছিলাম সেটা তো পারমিটিভিটি অফ দ্য ফ্রি স্পেস, আর এখন পারমিটিভিটি অফ দ্য ফ্রি স্পেস কি এপসাইলন নট থাকবে না কে ইনটু এপসাইলন নট চলে আসবে, কে ইনটু এপসাইলন নট চলে আসবে, তার জন্য এটা লেখা আছে। So I can find the energy density of all the slabs, right? Okay. Can you solve this one? A electric field E is now entering, making certain angle with the normal. What will be the inside electric field?
স্যার ই cos থিটা বাই কে।
Look here, electric field
স্যার
will
ই sin
have,
থিটা প্লাস ই cos থিটা বাই কে।
no,
ই cos থিটা বাই কে।
cos
no,
থিটা বাই কে নয়।
no. Look here, electric field has two components. Suppose one is x axis, another is along y axis, right? So what is E electric field? I can say it is E cos theta minus j cap plus E sin theta plus I cap. Can I say that? Now you can see that the field that is just entering perpendicular, I can divide it with k. Yes or no? So the vertical component of E1, E1y, that will be definitely minus of E cos theta divided by k. Yes or no? What about the horizontal component?
চেঞ্জ হবে না।
Why?
তো ওইটাতে তো মানে কোনো এফেক্ট পড়বে না।
প্যারালালি চলে যাবে তার জন্য।
সারফেসে প্যারালালি বেরিয়ে
Okay, now to understand the horizontal component, can anyone explain why this perpendicular component has changed?
Sir, because it is entering the slab.
Yes, because it is entering the slab, so horizontal component is also entering the slab. But why this perpendicular component has changed its magnitude?
How horizontal
induced electric field
Yeah, because there
minus
is some induced charges on the surface. Now if you talk about the slab, then there is some another induced charges present here. So if you now apply Gauss law, then these charges will definitely be considered and you can find the electric field changed. Look here, if you take a loop like this, then can I say that in this loop E dot dl should remain 0?
Yes.
In a closed loop it is always true. In a closed loop E dot dl is 0. So if this outer just outside that surface, if the electric field is E sin theta, then inside the surface the electric field should have the same magnitude, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In order to make that E dot dl 0. So that is one mathematical explanation of that. So that as E dot dl should be 0, so the horizontal field will remain the same, but the vertical electric field will be changed like this. You can say E1x will be E sin theta. Now you can find the net electric field. So there will be some effect definitely. Net electric field will bend from the horizontal. You can also find out the angle. Yes, this question I was talking about earlier. So try to just find its answer. Find the electric field and polarization at a distance x from the center of a solid dielectric sphere having uniform charge density rho.
Micron.
Find the electric field and polarization at a distance x from the center of a solid dielectric sphere of radius r having uniform charge density rho, dielectric constant k. Here you need to find the answer both for x greater than r and x less than r. Right? For x less than r and for x greater than r. In both the cases.
equal to r কি হবে?
হ্যাঁ বলো।
x equal to r কি হবে?
X equal to r is the same in both the cases. X equal to r here, yes, at here x equal to r you cannot actually define, because at x equal to r you are lying on a charge, right? So in that case it should be infinite at x equal to r, the electric fields. Just greater than and just less than you can find.
মানে স্যার x ইকুয়ালস টু r হলে কি ওই জায়গাটা এই একটা অ্যাসিম্পটোটিক টাইপের নেচার তৈরি হবে?
বলতে পারো x ইকুয়াল টু r এ যদি তুমি ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড বার করতে চাও, তুমি চার্জের উপর বসে তার উপর ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড বার করতে পারো না।
স্যার পোলারাইজেশনের ওই ফর্মুলাটা লাগাতে পারি ইনেটের?
হ্যাঁ, পোলারাইজেশন একটা ফর্মুলা আছে।
rho x by 3k epsilon naught ভিতরের জন্য ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড।
Yes, electric field will be similar. We apply this Gauss law, modified Gauss law. Modified Gauss law if you apply, then it is integral of k into E dot ds is equal to q extraneous divided by epsilon naught. So I can take a Gaussian surface like this. Yes.
আপনি যে বাইরের পোলারাইজেশনটা বার করতে বললেন ফর x গ্রেটার দ্যান আর, বাইরে কি কোনো মিডিয়াম আছে?
বাইরে one medium, a k equal to 1. So if I take this,
স্যার তাহলে বাইরের ক্ষেত্রে সেম রেজাল্ট হবে না?
বাইরের ক্ষেত্রে তো তাহলে যদি ফর্মুলাটা পুট করি তাহলে জিরো আসছে। শুধু
বাইরে পোলারাইজেশন তো হবেই না, কি করে পোলারাইজ করবে? বাইরে তো ওটা মিডিয়াম k equal to 1, k equal to 1 এ তো পোলারাইজেশন হয় না।
হ্যাঁ ওইটাই বলছি আর কি। তাহলে তো নরমাল
বাইরে
কন্ডিশনই তো
ফিল্ডেও চেঞ্জ হবে না?
বাইরের ফিল্ডের ভ্যালু সেম থাকবে, আগে যেভাবে আমরা বার করেছি। বাইরের পোলারাইজেশন 0 হয়ে যাবে, বাইরেরটা একই রকম।
এমনি একটা নরমাল গস ল দিয়েও তো এক্সপ্লেইন করা
নর্মাল গস ল দিয়ে এক্সপ্লেন করতে পারো, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। So if you apply modified Gauss law inside that surface, I can say that it is k into 4 pi x square is equal to q in extraneous charge is definitely 4/3 pi x cube rho divided by epsilon naught. So from there you can find that E into k. So E is equal to 4 pi x square 4 pi x cube. So it is rho x by 3k epsilon naught. Right? That is the electric field. And I can find that polarization vector. Polarization vector was along the net electric field vector. So here you can say it is along x axis, x vector. Polarization vector will be epsilon naught into k minus 1, I think, right? Epsilon naught into
Yes sir.
k minus 1 into the same electric field that we have got, right? So epsilon naught,
স্যার সলিড স্ফিয়ারের যে রেজাল্টটা পাই সেটাকেই শুধুমাত্র কে দিয়ে ডিভাইড করলে এটা পেয়ে যাবো?
yes,
এটা সব ক্ষেত্রেই তো করা যেতে পারে।
এটা হ্যাঁ করতে পারো, যে কোনো সময় করতে পারো,
স্যার এটা
যদি
আগেও
এক্সটার্নাল ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড না থাকে তাহলে। হ্যাঁ বলো।
স্যার
আ-
কুলম্বস ল তো আমরা এমনি করেই বার করেছিলাম যখন একটা কেজ
কুলম্বস লতে কে
শুধু
দিয়ে
ওই
কোথায় বার করেছিলাম?
না এমনি ক্যালকুলেশন ছিল না, এমনি পড়ানোর সময় বলেছিলেন এটা।
হ্যাঁ, সেভাবে করতে পারো। অ্যাকচুয়াল ল হলো এটা, মডিফাইড গস ল, রাইট? লাইক দেখো, ওখানে তো আমরা এক্সটার্নাল ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড এখানে অ্যাপ্লাই করিনি। এখানে যদি বাইরে থেকে তুমি একটা এক্সটার্নাল ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড রেডিয়াল ডিরেকশনে দাও, তাহলে এটার ইকুয়েশন চেঞ্জ হতে পারে, রাইট?
সেক্ষেত্রে শুধু এক্সট্রানিয়াস চেঞ্জ করলেই তো হয়ে যাবে।
না স্যার এক্সট্রা নিয়ে তো চেঞ্জ হয়ে যাবে।
বাইরে থেকে না, বাইরে থেকে যদি তুমি এক্সটার্নাল ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড দাও, এই জায়গায় একটা লেফট সাইডে তোমাকে একটা ই ডট ডিএস অ্যাপ্লাই করতে হবে। এক্সটার্নিয়াস চার্জ কি করে চেঞ্জ হবে? এক্সটার্নিয়াস চার্জ উইল বি দ্য সেম।
ও হ্যাঁ,
তুমি বাইরে থেকে যাই ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড অ্যাপ্লাই করো, এক্সটার্নিয়াস চার্জ উইল বি দ্য সেম।
তাহলে কোনটা চেঞ্জ হবে বললে?
এই জায়গায় এই জায়গায় এই জায়গায় তুমি একটা সামথিং ই এক্সটার্নাল ইন্টু 4πx², ইউ ক্যান সে দ্যাট। যদি তুমি বাইরে,
মাইনাস হবে নাকি
আর যদি ভেতর থেকে ঢুকে বা বাইরে থেকে বেরোয়, যে কোনো কিছু তুমি যদি একটা ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড অ্যাপ্লাই করো,
হ্যাঁ ওটা তো হবে এরিয়াল ভেক্টরটার জন্য।
হ্যাঁ, that will only change, but this part will not change.
স্যার একটা তো ঠিক আছে।
So this was about x less than r. And what about x greater than r? For x greater than r,
নরমাল
yes,
Normal,
x
not
greater than r,
normal.
k is equal to 1. So it is simple, right? E into 4πx² into 1, you can say. Again, I am using modified Gauss law. Again, you will find the same result. Now it is total charge is 4/3 pi r cube into rho by epsilon naught. Right, so as k equal to 1, you will find the same result we have got earlier. E is equal to rho r cube divided by 3x² epsilon naught, 3 epsilon naught x². Yes, that will be electric field, and the polarization vector will be 0 because k minus 1 will be 0 here, right? Yes. So these were the applications of dielectric, and here we have done all the things of electrostatics. I think this is the end of this chapter, electrostatics. But again, capacitor is there. Capacitor is a part which can be taught in electrostatic as well as current electricity. So better we will first study current electricity, and then we will again move to capacitor. Okay.